Everyone, this is Jappy from Standout Running. Thank you for tuning in. And I want to give a special thanks because my channel has reached 10 subscribers. Look, I know that sounds really low. That sounds pathetic even, but it means a lot to me. See, here's the thing. Throughout my career, I've been a teacher, and teaching is not the most glamorous career. That you don't get a lot of thanks to it, and the education system nowadays is not very great. And you go through hundreds of students a year. Over like 10 years I've been teaching. I've had like thousands of students. However, there are times when one student, or if you're lucky, two or three, come up to you and say, you really made an impact on me. You've made me a better person. I'm a reading specialist, so I focus on reading. So I especially get joy when they say, I've learned to enjoy reading or anything like that. And that really makes it all worth it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm changing anyone's life with these videos. I'm not. I'm just saying it feels good when someone sees the work you put in and is willing to hit like or subscribe. And so that's my takeaway. That's what makes me feel good. I might be overthinking it, but hey, that's what I do. I overthink things. All right. So today in this video, we're gonna be talking about the different midsole foams because let's face it, shoes are not that complicated. We overcomplicate them, but really you need three things to make a great running shoe, and that is a great upper, good midsole foam, and your outsole. Those are the three basic parts of it. However, that being said, there's so many ways to make a combination of those three things. So what I plan to do in this next series of videos are discuss ways to make the perfect running shoe and some of the ones that are really standing out right now. So today we're going to focus on foam types. Why not start with the upper? Because we all know the magic's in the foam. That's what runners want to know about. That's what we care about. That's what we're interested in. And so my hope is that even if you don't know anything about foams, or you just go to a running store or put your shoes on and do the hop on one foot, maybe, if there's a treadmill there, luckily you run for like 2 minutes. And you're like, all right, this feels pretty good, or this doesn't feel good. That's fine. But with this video, hopefully you can go in there a bit more knowledgeable and be like, hey, I'm looking for an EVA foam or a PIVA foam shoe, and it will help you narrow down your choices. Hopefully your fitter, or I'm gonna stick with the word fitter, probably better. Hopefully the fitter understands what you're talking about, or if not, then maybe go to a different running store. All right, so let's go through the foams right now. Running shoe foam that's been used for decades. There's lightweight, affordable, and versatile. Now there are pros to it. It's got to give you a comfortable cushioning, but again, you can make that firmer or softer depending on your production of it. But it's usually more comfortable. It is a durable shoe, so it's going to last you a longer time than, say, some of these super shoes will. The key thing is it is affordable. So these are your entry-level shoes, the ones that for people who are just starting running and they usually just want to try it out. They have one shoe. They offer a stable ride. You're not getting a lot of wiggle or bounce or anything, which is a con. You don't get as much energy return. The foam does compress over time, so you have it soft to moderately firm. So what shoes still use EVA? We're looking at the Brooks Ghost, the Hoka Clifton, Saucony Ride, and kind of the New Balance Fresh Foam. Now, the question is, how long will EVA still be around? Is it going to last with all these shoe companies now putting in their super foams into their standard shoe? We don't know, so time will tell. But if you're looking for a cheap pair of shoes, you're looking for something with EVA foam. It's polyurethane. So this is a level up from EVA. What it does, it's thousands of expanded TPU beads fused together. Now, this was made first famous by the Adidas Boost series that we have known to love and then hate. However, Adidas has brought it back with the Hyper Boost. All right, so what are the good things about the TPU foam? It has excellent durability. There's great energy return to them, much better than EVA. It performs well in hot and cold weather. So I didn't mention that the EVA foam can, if it's hot, it can get looser. If it's cold, it can freeze up. Now, the con things are that these foams are typically heavier, which is the big problem with the Boost series from Adidas. They're just a heavy shoe. And of course, they can feel less responsive than the higher grade foams. So typically, the feel is springy and bouncy. Again, as I said, common shoes are the Adidas Ultra Boost. However, you do have some Saucony shoes that use the TPU material. Foam. Now we're getting into the good stuff. This is the racing foam. This is the big update. So, what is it? This is the gold standard super foam, or at least it used to be. The pros are it's the highest energy return. It's extremely lightweight. Has excellent racing performance. Now the problem is it is expensive and it is less durable than EVA or TPU. So that's why you use your racing shoes for racing. The feel of them is you have the soft, explosive, and highly responsive. So common shoes are the Nike Alpha Flies, Vapor Flies, and of course, one of my personal favorite shoes of the year, the On Cloud Monster 3 Hyper Light Spray. Getting into supercritical foams. When you see the word supercritical or something like that, what it means is it has been cooked with nitrogen or something's infused for it, so it makes it honestly fantastic. And this is the foam of the year, ATPU. So what is it? It's a newer evolution of TPU that offers lower weight and higher rebound. The pros are it's lighter than the traditional, it's excellent energy return, and it's durable. So it is less common. It is found mostly in premium Asian market shoes. So if you are buying your Chinese shoes, you are most likely getting an ATPU midfoam. So it is fast, it is springy, and it is responsive, and you are getting the highest quality race shoes, which means you are also paying the highest budget. Super special foam. This is the foam you see in the Nitro Elite 3, which I might say is one of the bounciest shoes I've ever worn. So this is the type of foam that is Saucony uses in their Increditor line. So they recently put it in their Triumph, in their Hurricane, in their Paramount, and in their Endorphin Elite 3. So they are using this foam and people are loving it. So why not keep using it as much as possible? So this is a very high standard foam. So the foams keep getting better and better. The choices becoming more and more. And of course, every foam has its variant. You can make it firmer. You can make it softer. You can make it stable. You can make it unstable. Well, I don't think anyone tries to make it unstable, but you know what I mean. So there you have it, guys. There's some of the different foams you have. Apologies for the outfit change. I ran out of time working on the video, and now I'm finishing up today to publish it. So foam is, of course, what is the heart of the shoe. And what makes the shoe stand out, what makes it special. But of course, you need your top uppers, and we'll get into those another time. But again, focusing on the foam, there are some shoes now that absolutely stand out because of their foam. And I haven't tried them all, but the buzz about them is crazy. All right, so first one is coming from China, and that's the Li Ning Red Hair 9 Ultra. Now that uses a super boom capsule, which is, I believe, like a TPEE foam. And it's supposed to have an absolutely incredible bounce. And people absolutely love it. Now, I did try one of the leaning shoes, the Fidian 6, and that foam was insane. Like, I felt like my knee was going to hit me in the face. It was causing so much bounce. So that's a real bouncy shoe there. Another foam that has become very popular is, of course, Saucony, who is killing it with their foam. They use a TPE blend, and it is their Increditor. Now, what Saucony has done, which I expect most companies to start following suit, is they take their top tier racing blend, their Increditor, and are putting it into their lower level shoes. So the first one they trickled it down to was their Paramount Max. That is their kind of like their version of the Vomero Plus, but even bigger. It's a boat shoe. It's so large, but it is extremely soft and has a nice bounce. Not as much bounce as you're getting with their Elite elite, but still it's there. Then next is the Saucony Triumph 24, which I'm very interested to try. That's probably going to be a shoe I end up getting to give that a try. They also did the same with their Hurricane, which I hear is very popular. Now, the Hurricane is a bit heavier shoe. It's a bit more for your kind of recovery runs or miles, where Triumph is more of a daily trainer. Now, I'm very excited to try the Triumph. But again, the Triumph has a hard job, and that's to compete with super trainers, because it seems more that people are describing the super trainers more than your typical daily run shoe. But this foam makes it special. And of course, we can't talk about Saucony without talking about the Elite, the Endorphin Elite 3 that just came out recently. That is soft. I don't think I've ever felt a shoe as soft as that, no matter what the category. Now, it does a great job because that foam, it compresses, but with that plate in there, it gets you going forward. It is a fantastic feeling shoe. Of course, with all that cushion does come some problems, but I'll get into that in another video. All right, another foam that is really standing out right now is the Hyper Boost Edge from Adidas. Now, no one saw this shoe coming, and this is a great example of a shoe that that the upper kind of misses, but the foam makes up for it. That is I believe that is a TPE or a PIBA blend. I'm not too sure. I need to double check that. But again, that is one of the most popular feeling shoes now because of just that midsole. Right. Following that, we have other standouts like the Rad UFO. That foam is absolutely incredible. It's a lot of fun. You have, just to mention it, the On Cloud Monster 3 Hyper and Hyper Light Spray. It's not breaking records, but it's significantly better. So companies are nailing their foams now, and they're just getting better and better. So I hope you are able to find the foam that works to you. You will probably have a mixture of foams depending on what your shoe is for. But that's what makes running fun. There's so many different things. There's so many different things to look out for, to try, but it also makes it hard to find the right shoe. You often feel like the prince trying to find Cinderella, and Cinderella being the shoe, you being the prince. If you're a woman, you know what I mean. You're trying to find the right shoe. Well, not right foot. This was a terrible analogy. I apologize. I'll do better next time. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Remember, always be bold, be fast, be you.